Sup, dudes? Um, I don't have any kind of intro planned for this video at all, actually. I couldn't sleep last night. I'm on an all-nighter. On top of the all-nighter, I had my midterm first thing this morning at like 9 a.m. It's currently like noon. It was over like 2 hours ago. But like I had my midterm today, so for one of my classes, so that was like chill. On like no sleep, dude. Although I think I did pretty good. I talked to yeah, whatever. Anyway, why video? Scream 7. I saw the movie a couple weeks ago, and I meant to make a video then, but honestly, like I got lost track with side quests and shit like that, and a lot of school exams coming up. I had spring break this past week, and honestly, I was really tired, and I didn't really feel like I had the energy to make a video, but like I really wanted to make another video. I missed making a lot of videos and just ranting for a minute, so that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna rant about Scream 7. Was Scream 7 good? No. Not even close. All those reviews are pretty accurate. It kind of sucks. But it was entertaining, and I did still have a really good time watching it. Like again, I went with my partner, because she really adores the Scream movie. So we went, and like it was as an experience, I had like a great time. But like as a movie, it kind of sucked. Um, to get my to get this out of the way, I am completely unfamiliar with the Scream franchise. I haven't seen any of them up until this point. Not the first one, not the second one, and this is the seventh one. So I'm coming into this with zero to little context. But I suppose let's just start at the beginning. So, the movie. Oh my god, do I even remember this shit? The the movie, from what I could gather, and the little snippets that my partner was telling me throughout the film, was that it all started with this main woman, and so this movie is centered around her daughter, right? Her daughter's in high school, teenager, and essentially, like the kind of plot of the movie is there's obviously like because she's infamous in the Scream world for the Stab movies. I'm pretty like it's the in-universe equivalent of the Scream movies, but like in this universe, they're like real. What happened in the Stab movies is essentially either an exaggeration or hyperbole or based on a true story in this universe of this very real victim of all of these crimes. Again, I don't have any context for the previous seven. I'm going based off what my partner told me in the moment and what I remember of that moment. So, um, basically, so original Scream Stab victim, right? She's now much older. She's dealt with this a lot at this point, 6 movies in. And her it revolves around her daughter for the most part, her daughter and their friend group, and then some other core members of the cast that have appeared in other movies, which again, zero context, so I'm going purely based off this movie. So anyway, you get introduced to the daughter, the boyfriend, pretty early on, and then some of the friend groups. They're in a theater production. So the opening scene is honestly pretty solid. Like it's these two people visiting the original Scream house, and there's this animatronic Scream figure in there, and then the guy behind the Scream mask calls the lady from inside the house, and it's a pretty spooky scene, and you see that like the head fade in and out of the darkness, and it's pretty good. It's pretty solid. But the rest of the movie, not solid. So you have the daughter, the friend group, the boyfriend, and essentially what happens is at the start of this movie, the mom, right, the original victim, is getting a call from Billy Loomis, and again, from what I can gather, that's the original Scream dude. So she gets a call from him. It's his voice. It sounds real, but they're like, "Oh my god, he can't be real. He's dead." And then they have this like, "Oh, okay, but like, is he really dead?" And so she kind of doubts herself a little bit there. And then the first big killing sequence we get, aside from like the introduction, is in the high school theater production room. They kind of split up a little bit after a practice to kind of nail some things down. So two of them are working on the cable stuff, so she can fly around the stage. You have the main character, the girl, go back into the dressing room, if I remember right, and then the boyfriend dips for a little bit. And then Scream guy shows up and kills most of, or not most of her friends, but two or three of the main character's friends, kind of in that moment, and not great. Obviously. And so then the mom is like, okay, so and then the mom gets like a call, a FaceTime call from Billy Loomis, from the original Stab guy, and she's like, how can this be? He's supposed to be dead. Oh my gosh! And then they immediately like, oh my god, like what if it's AI? And I'm gonna get this out of the way, sports fans. Fuck AI. Fuck what it is right now in its current form and what it's doing to the environment and corporations all across the world and art across the world, but also it weaseled its way into a massive franchise like this. The bad guy is two impersonators using AI. Spoiler alert! Spoiler warning, by the way. Using AI to mess with the initial lady by pretending to be Billy Loomis through AI technology. And it turns out it's two random people this time that are kind of like very loosely connected. It's this random psych patient that was like taking care of Billy. I know I'm all over the place with this review. Again, keep in mind I'm on no sleep right now, and I'm going based off of like what I remember from 2 weeks ago. Um, and the acting was really bad. They had a couple of cool sequences in here though that I actually thought were pretty creative and pretty fun. Like the safe house escaping through the wall scene and he's kind of jabbing through. Again, I think that's my biggest complaint. I'm gonna segue into this real quick. Every character in this movie is so fucking stupid. Every single one. They make the dumbest decisions. And again, I think that's the point of the movie per se. Because, like, I think the whole experience is being like, oh, what are you doing? And, like, it was a fun movie experience. Our theater was, like, really empty and super dead. But that honestly made it a lot more fun because all of us were a little more vocal. And it was just kind of fun because we were, like, at some points you had the whole theater, all six of us being like, oh, dude, why would you do that? And it was fun. It was a fun experience. Again, the experience was a lot of fun. But the movie itself wasn't great because, again, the characters are really dumb. And yeah, it ends up being the like one of her neighbors of this like kid who's obsessed with true crime and keeps trying to get the main lady to tell a little bit more of the story of what happened because he's just like obsessed with that kind of shit. And then the um the psych nurse, I want to say, like at that mental facility that I'm pretty sure it was Billy that was staying at, the main bad guy from the first one. He managed to like read all the journals and shit or get to know a lot of like know him a lot, and he just kind of wanted the notoriety or to just experience what that was like. And so the neighbor, that mom plus the psych dude teamed up and became the new Screams for this film, and they used AI to pretend to be Billy Loomis. And I remember Courtney Cox being in it, and I didn't even recognize her until after the movie when my partner pointed it out because I couldn't tell. And honestly, that might be about it. It wasn't very great. Like I think I've never been a big fan of slasher horror or gore specifically. Like I never really got into that. Um, but I do think that it wasn't bad. Sorry. I mean, like I don't think the gore was that bad. I think it had a couple of good scary scenes. I think some of them were just the really easy gratuitous jump scares that you can just kind of huck at a screen and people will kind of semi be happy, you know. But I do think for the most part that it was just not a good movie. Again, I had a really good time watching it. That bumps it up a few points for me. If I was gonna plug this shit or put it on any kind of scale or rating, I'd give it like a legitimate 4. And again, that's generous because I had a good time watching it because I just had a good day. It was a good time. But yeah, it wasn't very good. Sorry if this is all over the place. I'm all over the place. I'm real sleepy. I don't know if you can tell. I would take a nap, but I have to be up real early for classes tomorrow. And if I go to bed now, I'm not gonna wake up till like 8 p.m. and then get no more sleep again. So like my goal is to just kind of make it to 7 p.m. And if I pause, if I make it to 7 p.m., I can probably sleep until 7 a.m. So that's the goal here. yeah, I think that's about it. Peace.